Hello, everybody. I am Retro Zucchini One. Yes, and okay, starting the broadcast here, getting my composure together and all. Hello, this is Retro Zucchini One, and I'm online to explain to everybody why. Um, and actually, the better word is how Subakdo Region 5 made me this Gen Kazama since 1995. Yes. Okay. So, start out here. Gotta, I to really starting out here. I pretty much gave myself to a cause that has done as yet. Okay, since 1995, they were supposed to give me royalties. They're supposed to give me different things. They didn't do none of these things for me as to date, and they didn't give me the things I earned on this degree. They're trying to 100% deny it, I believe, and not credit me for none of these things. It's definitely not right because I will always remember my talent that year in 1995. I always remember the body I had, the talent. It was very, very impressive. I'll take these glasses off. I don't need them anyway. So this talent I had in 1995 was very, very impressive. And I never will forget those days when I trained at Region 5, which means it's just a section of in our karate federation where I guess it's just refers to the number of location where they train people this subakdo. Um, don't mind me, I have some allergies going on. I apologize for this. Uh, I do have allergies going on now. I live like crap a lot of times because, well, I don't have enough money. I don't even have my own house right now. But when I do get these things, it could be any time after I start making the money I'm expecting to be making one day. Uh, you know, I don't believe I'm going to be poor and suffering, and then the police are going to arrest me and put me in a group home. I don't believe that for a second. I've always been trying to aspire to get out of my situation. And now I've got an eyelash in my eye. Uh, Aspiring to get out of the situation for years and years. Uh, it's like being in prison. What these, what this one teacher has done to me, that he did a favor for his family. That was the stupidest thing I think he ever did. And help a family. He asked me in the change room, "Do you want to help a family? Do you want to help a family? What do they have to do with what I contributed to video games?" Is what I'm thinking, you know. And the answer is, truthfully, truthfully, the answer is nothing. They have nothing to do with what I contributed. But still, they get the credit, and they get the money, and they get these things, I believe, because he did say at the ceremony, this, "I'll call you by your first name, Raymond." I don't care because not saying your last name, I don't know what to say. He wanted to give his family this money, and it's referred to as royalties. But I believe it also could be referred to as some kind of contractual agreements. Oh man, sorry. Okay, so contractual agreements, royalties, trademarks, copyrights. Uh, you know how Tekken was created? These karate teachers were very amazed at my talent. Okay, they were very amazed at my talent and very impressed by my talent. These are not just any karate instructors that train karate and put a black belt on and hey, I'm a karate guy, and they can't do karate. No, these are professional dons around the world that are respected in our federation and other federations. They respect them, I think, too, because our talent is renowned. It's well known in our community and whatever. I believe these black belts are some of the best black belts in the world at the time of 1995, and I'm like them, or I'm better than them in some ways. And I don't want to say I'm better than them in some ways, but I'm equally matched to them in sparring. Whether it's non-contact or even if it was contact, I think I'd still stand a great chance in sparring against them and giving them a challenge. Uh, it's just when I really think of this stuff, I remember these days. Now, when I'm talking about this Jin Kazama, I can remember these Don guys when I can't come back from training in the Region 5 Subakdo changing rooms. They would say, "Where are you from?" And I tell them, "Oh, I'm from around here." They asked me and said, "Oh, really? Are you sure you're not from Thailand?" Like they said that. Are you sure you're not from Thailand? Or they said at first, maybe I rephrased it. Maybe they said, "Are you from Thailand?" Because okay, some of the moves I've done were Muay Thai like moves, but I'm naturally able to do these moves watching Kickboxer starring JCVD, and I'm actually able to do these things naturally anyway. Um, you know, I'm only 14 years old. I could have did it at 13, 14 makes no difference. Could have did these moves all my life, I think. But I have a trained, fit body right away at 14 at the time. So they see me doing these talented moves and this, I'm young and doing these things. Uh, they think like I'm very impressive and they're very impressed. They think I got a lot of potential for martial arts. They believe that. They think they know that. And, uh, you know, okay, so they said, "Are you from Thailand?" I said, "No." I said, I think I just told them the truth. I'm half Mexican. Like I said at the time, half Mexican or um, whatever, 50% Mexican means like 100% Mexican to a lot of people in Mexico. Because if you go to Mexico, Mexico doesn't just have people of full races. They have people of biracial races, other nationalities. You could be white or black and you're considered Mexican in Mexico. But this is the same in Mexican culture anywhere in the world. You see, like my heritage is from Texas. I'm Tex Mexican and I'm American. So that's like European and Hispanic, like Spanish and Indian and Mexican. Uh, it's a nice, you know, mix of nationalities. It's nothing too opposite, really. It's just, you know, overall, I'm like American. And that's what makes me special, too. Because some people that are American are special also in the world. Now, okay, so My talent was very impressive. It was just extreme power, extreme talent, extreme flexibility, extreme speed, extreme accuracy. Form was really perfect. I had the power was really perfect. I had the talent, the endurance, the agility, just the stats were through the roof of what they thought I had at the time of training. These Don instructors. So, you know, I I remember them saying these things. They were always saying in class, like I'm wearing this Mortal Kombat shirt you can see here. They would say things like impressive, immaculate, fascinating, or different things, different English terminology of words that would signify what I'm doing in class. My training proved my talent, and you know that's why um, my talent stood out. You um, my talent really stood out. I got a fan on me too, but I just ignored it. Oh, you know what? I forgot to start the music. I forgot to put on my music. Okay. All right. It's funny. So, yes, I'll turn this down just a bit. Okay, so, like this Jin Kazama character, I remember training with these Don teachers. There were a total of four of them. If you ever watched Tekken 7, there's always four G Corp troops that are trying to assist and help Jin Kazama in Tekken 7. I believe they're giving reference to the four Don teachers from my history that I trained with. They're not saying that. All there's total of four in the desert where Jin is wearing like this vagabond clothing, and he's in the desert. They find him in the Saudi Arabia desert, somewhere in Arabia, whatever. But then they find him. These G Corp Corporation soldiers. There's four of them. They touch a shoulder, and then he goes up like this, shoots lasers in the eye, shoots lasers out of his eyes in the sky. Uh, Impressive, all impressive about this Jin Kazama, no matter what. That's why I think some people hate him because he's just impressive, 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 impressive all the time. All he does is impress people. Jin Kazama. Now, I was not able to retain this talent, you know, for different reasons, and they're going. The reasons why are horrible to admit sometimes, but I have to admit them sometimes. Why I think I never retained this talent. If I had known, and if I had decided to go back to this karate federation, like I'm talking like 25, 24 years ago, uh, I would have done it. But there's a scheme, a large scale plot planned by my karate teacher and this girl I actually was with, that he was with, and everybody was with. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Everybody was with her. My God. Everybody was with her. It seemed that way. Seemed that way. Like Cowboy Bebop. Seems that way. Remember in a car at the time when they were going after Ein the dog? Seems that way. Seems that way. It does really seem that way with her. But golly, jeez, oh Pete. I mean, I could act like moral oral all my life, and I have to be expected to be that way. But that's the problem here. Okay, I have a problem. I have a problem. Yeah, I have a big problem with my history and me not getting my money because my money would have made me someone in the martial arts world long ago. But everybody wanted that money. Now I'm going to get back to this history of Jin here. Okay, so Jin Kazama at Region 5, yeah, I've done his moves at Region 5. There's a lot of times I did his moves. They started out actually more like the moves that were in Tekken 5. But then they restarted again in 1997. I believe those moves I did in 1997 when I came back to train again with a instructor there, they used those moves from 1997 in Tekken 3 because I remember doing a lot of his moves in Tekken 3 in 1997. And they used those moves. I did them first. They could have had another duplicate, like an Asian guy or a European guy, even a European guy, uh, maybe a Slavic guy. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a dog, maybe a cat, maybe a piece of poop from the toilet that made a lot of money. I don't know. It's just they could have anything with arms and legs that looks good enough and do these moves if they can do them. Okay, but they went with my form for Shenmue. That's different. But they also went with my form a lot for Tekken too. Tekken also they went with my form a lot of times because I had a lot of body resembling this Jin guy. At age 14, if you look at Jin Kazama, he looks like a mutant kind of. His shoulders are real big, massive. His chest is massive. He's got abs forming. He's got big guns of strong arms. I had that forming a lot when I was age 14. The Don teachers took a picture of me in the changing room one time. And they secretly took it, but I knew they took it. But then I overheard them say, "We better keep this. We better take this picture. He's going to need it one day." And so they did. And so there could be a picture of my body without a shirt on at age 14 out there. Might make some Hollywood celebrities look kind of stupid if they don't think highly of me. But that's another thing I don't like to admit. I'm gonna offend people. I'm probably not respected enough by martial art movie actors because I don't have a perfect body. I don't have a. It's not a perfect body. I'm not fit. But if they do have that picture with my shirt off, still, if somebody's wife didn't throw it away, if somebody's niece didn't throw it away, if somebody's daughter didn't get it and lost it, I don't know where those pictures went. They took those Don teachers over the years, but I know they took some pictures of me also. If you notice in Tekken 7, they throw out some pictures. It's like a police undercover operation too with this. Literally, it is. All these Don teachers are involved with the police forces from Michigan, starting from Michigan, and they went to other states, whether it's out west or down south or wherever they went. They could have went as far as Mexico or further than that, around the world. I don't know where they went to, these cop guys, but they traveled. They went different places. They probably worked for the Federal Bureau of Investigation too at times. I don't know, but I do believe they have done that possibly because they mentioned an interest in doing that. These guys are successful people. Uh, I was successful. I was successful with this history I got. Now, I know I should be established. I should have a job. I should have all these things going for me. I don't right now have enough going for me because let me get some water here. Okay. Because of a history with this, like it's just uh I had a lot of bullies from 1995, before 1995, since 1992 or 3. People just didn't like me or understand me sometimes. They pick on me starting from Melvindale, Michigan, and I was merciful to them. I didn't want to fight with them in 1995. So I think that's why they called this guy Jin, because he had a lot of power, but he was merciful. That's what they don't tell you about Jin Kazama. Jin means mercy in Bushido. They don't just tell you that. Oh, now yeah. So I had bullies and people mess with me, and that's that's part of the reason I moved out of a city called Melvindale, Michigan, to a Riverview, Michigan. But then this Riverview, Michigan, and for 30 years I didn't know or whatever. They knew about these royalties. I'm living next to neighbors that are related to this karate teacher. I didn't even know. I didn't even know this. I'm sure they have their phone conversations or computer chats or whatever. The circle of neighbors here probably know about me, and they don't want me to know nothing. No. Probably even a gym teacher might know about me a lot and don't want me to be anyone special. But he doesn't understand that, hey, I'm not raised to have sex with girls in bathrooms. Okay. And that's the problem too. He thinks I'm going to have sex with a girl in a bathroom, and these other guys that are. This is what Riverview Community High School covers up too. They they let guys have sex with girls in bathrooms. When I went there, they did. I didn't believe it, but that's what they do because they don't know what to do with guys with hormones or something. I don't know what it is. They all have hormones. Even the girls have hormones. But I'm like raised spiritual in religious fashions. And I don't just go have sex with a girl in a bathroom. In fact, the girl that I was dating for 3 years is the same girl that this, I just say her name. Your name is Mr. Hawley. You know who you are, but you asked me to have sex with this girl in the bathroom that I dated for 3 years, and her name is Yoo-hoo. Yeah, we know. But he asked me, he said, Ryan, if these videos of STDs freak you out, don't let them. But if you need to have sex, go have sex with go with these other guys in the bathroom. Go meet them there in 2 hours, and you can have sex with this. There's this girl, and her name is Yoo-hoo. I won't say her name. She's got a wife, a family, whatever. I don't know if I should say her name. Maybe I should say her full name. I mean, I have before, but Yoo-hoo, I'll call Yoo-hoo like the chocolate milk. Yoo-hoo. This is like shit that the religious communities don't know about, or they don't admit in a Catholic church or in a Christian faith or whatever. And in this community of Riverview, Michigan, they did ask me to have sex with this girl in the bathroom with other guys. And I actually dated her for 3 years, and she wouldn't have sex with me that whole time. In 3 years, I got to know her. Even after I got to know her. How about that shit, huh? How about that? You see, this is so utterly offensive to me and probably to her, but she's the one that should just be ashamed. I mean, it's like, man, if you're going to get to know me and you're going to use my time and my money, I worked for this, for our time to be together, and then you go hang out with a guy that was named Tyrone or Jerome or whatever around the block and say you got to do chores for your mom. Well, she's like a total liar. And it's like, I just had feelings for her. She was a fitness trainer. She's American, whatever. It's the problem. Like, it's like crazy like that, the world. Okay. A lot of people are American. I'm American too, but I'm not like the skin tone she was. Okay. I know people like to say, they like to say they have a tan, but I really have a tan. I'm Mexican. Okay. I can't help that. Everybody hates that about me, I think, and where I'm from. But I can't help that. That's part of the reason I don't want to be in Michigan too. I'm Mexican. I don't really like having a stereotype that I have to be thought of as different or hated because I'm Mexican. It's like I feel that way. But I like Michigan. I wish I was American. I wish I was a Caucasian white guy sometimes because I would fit in better. People would accept me more around here if I had to be here. You see, sometimes I wish that for myself, but I can't just make myself be white Jesus or white, Uncle Ruckus from Boondocks. I can't just do that now, can I? No. See the problem I have? What if I was black? What if I was all Mexican or something? I can be racist as hell in this video too, but I don't want to go there. It's just I'm getting there, but I don't want to go there. I want to go back now. You see, it's just, you know, I think some African American people can understand where I'm coming from if they have a little compassion about this, or more or less. I know everybody's different, but yeah, I have the problem with people hating me for being jealous that I'm like even if I'm like a half breed of Mexican. God, that's hated, because like I feel that way around here. I'm not really respected for my race, and I might have a nice race even if I'm half something. Even if I was a full race, I'd still be hated in a way. You see, there's racism everywhere in the country, in the world, but not in the world as much. But in this country, certain states in America have racism. They don't want to tell you that. But there's a big problem I have with that too. But this is the problem. It's like the history goes back to that year. You see, okay, getting back on subject here, Jin Kazama, yeah, I did his moves. I have his talent. I remember doing Brazilian kick. I remember doing the drive-through roundhouse kick in 1997, and they used that later in the Shenmue games. No, no, they used that later in the Tekken games. I mean, so they used that drive-through roundhouse kick I did. I think in Tekken 5 Resurrection at first. Uh, there's a Brazilian kick, and then there's a drive-through roundhouse kick. They don't just tell you that. You see, but they created that from 1997 in my training because see, I actually lost that perfect roundhouse kick from 1995. That they changed that and they made Jin have a drive-through roundhouse kick in 1997. You see, okay, Jin Kazama. I also have this story of mental illness that that's a deep secret I have, and it's been bothering me. Mental illness, major depression, anxiety problems. I don't want to go into all detail, but I've had these things. I take medication for it. Uh, a very small amount to maintain this because I'm also sober. So I take like uh, medicine for this, a very small pill, whatever, and that's all I take. had I've had it's like manic depression, with the features. I don't want to talk about it. Well, I do want to talk about it. I do. Okay. So in 1995, I was like experiencing psychotic features from depression and uh like I had hallucinations of demons in 1995. Uh, I had hallucinations of that and voices in 1995. Uh, and that bothered me for years to come. But then it was corrected after taking medication. Okay, so it was corrected. But I've been sober, and I don't just like you know do bad things. But I think what could have corrected this mental illness a lot was just sex, literally good, hot, young sex, and that was offered to me, but I didn't know that was what I needed to get better, to be a man, to have good health, to not have bad mental health, to have good mental health, to have better health and everything. That would just bring me right out of my problems, I think. This sex life, like if I had ones that year, but that's the problem I had. I come from a religious background, okay? And I'm this Jin Kazama from my history. I'm actually the real Jin Kazama. John Fu, to me, he's a guy they propped up and they trained him. Uh, like they made him that in that year of 19, no, 2008 or something. They made a Tekken movie, but he looks like Jin Kazama. What is his descent and race? I talked about mine. I'll talk about his. He's actually half Singaporean and half British. I think that's what he is. He's not even a full race like me, but he is John Fu, the Jin Kazama. I guess he's got royalties or something. Okay, he's got that. Uh, so John Fu has that, but Jin Kazama, they also included in the movie of Tekken in 2008 that John Fu has he gets this dislocated shoulder. Jin Kazama, he gets it from fighting martial law. Isn't that an interesting character, martial law? Wonder if the legal system has something to do with my shoulder being messed up too. I'll never know. I'll never know. The first time it got messed up, I'm talking about. Never be able to prove it, probably, but that's the problem I have. Is that I don't know if I'll be able to prove that. I don't know. Maybe I will, but that's the problem. It's a big problem because this scheme from this karate teacher had other students involved. There's this guy that this girl I dated, and I think he might have been in the karate training classes too. He might have been in there because I just say her name. Sarah talked about this Bennett guy a lot. And then how many other guys did she put in that Region 5 along with Bennett? I mean, she's involved with these karate people. I like to know how many ding dong dicks she put in that karate class that she was banging that year and not me ever. I like to know that. I'm pissed off about her history because this is what made me nothing in life. This is what ruined my whole life. Her father is so racist. So racist. And her father doesn't like me. Her father is a mental patient, a terrible mental patient. That I can remember the guy poking me in the eye to be mean, just to be mean to me. Okay. Tell me if that's not racist. I don't know what is. Okay. Well, I think I had a, I think I had a somebody at a pizza shop today that made fun of my eyes being pennies. Okay, that's how racist people are. They'll subliminally talk about you, talk shit about you, and they won't tell you, but they're subliminally saying things, and you can hear it vaguely, but you don't know they're making fun of your race. You don't know they're making fun of your skin tone, your eyes, your hair, your something about you that's different that makes you somebody already. My eyes are not pennies. No, these eyes are what made Shenmue what they are. These eyes are what made Tekken what they are. I'm so fucking expensive in my mind that I'm not supposed to be anything but God of martial arts from that year. I'm a god in martial arts. I'm not like nobody. My middle name is Michael. I'm God to these martial arts. Okay? That's the problem I have in this area, in this community. They don't know who I am. That's what I really am. I'm a god in martial arts. But I have this history that makes me look bad. So if I'm like God, might as well say I'm God in the martial arts. Okay? That's the problem I got. You see, this is all history. And people like to laugh at me, joke about me, make fun of me. This is all problems that I don't deserve. It's called discrimination. It's discrimination. See, this karate teacher, he didn't know what to do about me. So he gives my royalties and the earnings I did to his family, I guess. And then he gives it to this girl that was in the class that I dated for 3 years. She actually follows me from Detroit, Michigan to Lincoln Park and then to Riverview, Michigan years later. I don't know how much history this Sarah girl goes back in my history. I think she goes back to my childhood in my history. But I have to prove that in the court of law if she really does. Who the holy fuck is she? Is my biggest question. I don't care about Christianity sometimes because I don't care to be respectful in that regard. I don't care to be respectful because I don't have to be. I don't I don't deserve the crap I've gone through in my life. The things I've went through in my life are so insane and so terrible because I never got respected for who I am and for what I contributed and for what I am and for who I am, for what I did. See, it's a problem. It's a big problem that, you know, uh, it's a, it's a problem that I don't get my money, you know? Like, if I had my money, well, I would have been this Tekken Jin Kazama character guy. I would have been all these things in my life, but I'm not because I don't have my money. Because, see, I know in Shenmue, Ryuzuki works at age 18 and he works and he gets where he's going. Every man is expected to work, yeah, but not every man goes through all the hell and crap I've gone through all my life. You see, I went through a lot of bad things in my life with this scheme and this girl and these people that don't want to acknowledge this. You know, like it's terrible. So about Jin Kazama, it's hard to stay on subject because you know how you can imagine how angry I am about this. How furious I am because of this. these people just get away with these things. So the legal system allows them to get away with this stuff. The legal system, I'm talking about the American legal systems, allow them to get away with these things. To take my royalties, to actually take what's off of this degree, to deny this degree. Man, it's so offensive. It's so terrible. But what can I do? What can I do? You see? So you see, part of the reason I'm online, uh, I have to live by my history. I have to define myself by my history. You know, your history follows you wherever you go, and it can repeat itself too. So I can't just lie about my past. I can't just do it for someone else because my teacher asked me, "Do you want to help a family? Do you want to help a family that doesn't need help anyway? That's a law firm, that's a pilot family, and that's whatever the hell." I don't want to describe them completely, but damn it. No, I don't want to help a family that doesn't need help anyway to begin with. You know, to me, that's what it's like. It's all insulting to my family and me because I give them all those things. And they, guess what? I think the way these royalties work is that once people have had that for so many years, they just keep that and they retain that in their family because their lives built around these royalties. If they're expensive royalties, well, their family's used to getting that already. People are used to getting those things. So you see, what I contributed is like obsolete and means nothing because uh, they claimed it already and they took that already a long time ago. So I can't do nothing about it now. So look at me, I'm the insane guy on YouTube, and I'm complaining about Shenmue and Tekken. You know, it makes me look so stupid that I have to do this because I have had this. You know, I'm the one that suffered for other people. Okay, I mean, I'm not trying to literally be Jesus Christ and get on the cross and crucify myself for some other effort's gain, and they can laugh at me. Look at us, we're better. Here's just Jesus. Get on the cross. It's like the same fucking thing, damn it. To me, I give my whole life to your family. Fuck me, man. I can't believe that shit. Oh yeah, I look at it like this. I mean, but that's the problem, man. That's the biggest problem I got. These teachers don't care about my life at all. It seems that way. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. And they have to follow a protocol, regulations, procedure, like policies and stuff. They got to follow these rules in their federation of karate still. I don't know what they follow, but whatever they follow, they're paid non certified instructors. They have to follow certain guidelines and that, you know, well, do it then. Do it. Keep doing it. But yeah. So Jin Kazama, he's they've been following me, you know, like this Jin Kazama that this throughout the years since 1995. I had a dislocated shoulder from a car accident in 2005. After that, I can't bench press the same. I can't do push ups the same. Oh, I've got my problems. I can't work out the same. But this is the problem. You see this girl I dated plunged me into this problem. Okay, she plunged me into this problem with my shoulder. I think because I was having stress and problems at work. I was working at the DTW airport at the time, helping disabled passengers get around the airport. And there were times I'd have these. I was heartbroken. She put me through so much hell and embarrassment. This girl, you know, she would have sex in bathrooms with guys, different places my family would take her to. She'd be having sex in bathrooms with other guys because Riverview, Michigan taught her that, I think, too. I think the Riverview School District is responsible for that. They taught her to have sex with guys from gym class, right, Mr. Hawley? Is that why she had sex with my neighbor in at Target on Ford Road? Yeah. Is that why she did that to embarrass me, to make a fool out of me, to take me down? Is that what the police do? They take you down and make me look so fucking stupid all these years. Is that what they do? Yeah. That's how terrible this is. It gets way, way worse, way worse. And this is what the police do. They do this. If they want to do things like this and get away with it, if they think they can get away with it, they'll try to get away with it. Damn it. Okay, they will. And what else does she do? She'd go to Frankenmuth, Michigan, and have sex with men in the bathrooms. This girl I dated, we took her with us. My family took her with us to Frankenmuth, Michigan, and she would have sex in the bathrooms with strangers. What a whore she was. She has no fucking shame. No shame. Just wants sex. Won't ever have sex with me, and I loved her and treated her with respect and everything. She wouldn't have sex with me. I don't ever want to have sex with you, ever, ever. I'm so offended by you. I don't want nothing to do with your daughters, nothing to do with your kids, nothing to do with your family. I just want my money and my respect because I earned it, damn it. And that's what I really want. She probably says to people, I can stay away from, I won't say the names, but I don't care anyway. I don't care anyway. You know? I don't care anyway. Okay? That's the problem I got. They think they're so much better, these people. In my history, in my past, they make a fool out of my reputation. My status is screwed and ruined. What do I get? Nothing, nothing, nothing but problems all these years. Here I am, I'm age 44, and I'm walking around like, young girls don't like me. If I wanted to date one of these young girls, they turn me down anyway because they probably have a scheme operation. This cry teacher and the next door neighbors listen to that law firm next door, Scoop and Lucas law firm. Oh, she said this. Ryan's this. Stay away from that guy. He's weird. He's nasty. This is all the fucking shit I deal with in Michigan all these years. I'm so fucking pissed because I'm so fucking offended. You know, for me to be like a religious person again, it's not something I just want to do, but I might do it. But I might do it because I might want to anyway. But this is the problem I've got. It's like all this time, this girl's family has had so much nerve. Do not tell me about the vintage toys. Do not tell me about Raymond. Do not tell me about all these people in my history. Okay, man, man. I never knew that I would have so many problems with the legal system, with everyone that wants my money I earned, and they want it, and they got it. They got it all these years. All these years, they got it. Okay. Now, I don't want, let me say this. This is about my legal situation too. Okay. If I have one, I do have one because even if I don't get nothing out of it, I'm always going to have a legal situation. Even if I get no money out of it, to me, I'll always have a legal situation. Yeah. I don't want to hate people. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean. But you know what? Yeah, I wish, you know what? I'll tell you what. I don't know what I wish for, but any woman can say they're a mother and make babies, and then just like, oh, then like, they're like they use that as a cover up to think they're like a saint or like special, you know. You know, sex helps you to succeed in life. I would have had a college degree by now. I would have had all this success in my life if I had sex in my life. If I had a lot of good things I needed in my life. I don't have these things because of the stress, because of the problems for my history in this Riverview, Michigan. Okay. I got a lot of problems in Riverview, being in Riverview, Michigan. But the biggest problem I have is the history, and then I lost my money, and then it's just so much deep shit. And it's just bad. It's really, really bad. Really bad. Now, this video has a lot of profanity in it too, but you know what? I don't care. Okay? I just, I don't know. Okay? I mean, I've talked about the history of this Jin Kazama. I've talked about it here, but the problems I got outweigh the good and the history. They like I want to talk about the history of this Jin guy, but it's not an easy thing to talk about when you don't have your money. When you lost your money, I don't know what to say. Okay, I don't know what to say. I feel like, because I'm complaining about these things. I feel like because I'm complaining about these things, like, you know, I don't know how else to do this. Okay, because I'm complaining about these things, maybe I'm risking my life to complain about this stuff. But what can I do? I have too much anxiety to drive a car sometimes. But what if I had sex in my life? If you research sex, everybody, on your Google phone, get my Google phone, okay? My Google phone, sex. How does sex improve my life? How does sex make me healthy? No, what you got to really look up is, does sex relieve anxiety? It'll tell you that sex sex is like a cure for anxiety. That's how I get these conclusions. That's why I'm talking about sex, because you have to talk about sex sometimes, because if you don't, you're not normal. It's like, you're supposed to, I'm supposed to have that, but I don't have that. See, there's a big, big problem I got being this shitty life I got, but that's the problem, you know. So this is the problem I've had. I never understood this in life, like I at Riverview, Michigan. When I came here, I had feelings for this girl that was from church. There was this girl that was like me. She was half Hispanic like me. I won't say her name. I think the pastors wanted her to stay away from me because they discriminate because I got bipolar depression. So they're assholes too. I won't say their names. I don't care if they're pastors. Some of these people are assholes. Yeah, and I'm not going to say their names. They think they're better and special, but they're just jerks. You know, stay away from him. He's got bipolar depression. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for ruining my life and my chance at a normal life, because I contributed to the video game industry. What I've contributed is very expensive in U.S. dollars. Yeah, it really is. It really is. That's the problem I got here. I'm offended by what I did. What I contributed is not respected. And that's the problem I got. Probably some of these royalties went to churches. They won't say nothing. They won't say nothing. No, they won't. So there's this girl that I had my heart set on, mind set on. She ends up with a big BBM. I'll call it a BBM, not a BBW or a BMW. A big, beautiful man. Okay, that's all I'll say. And she's more or less like a BBW. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Nah. But she's got a BBM, and that BBM, they got their own. Hey, I don't want to make fun too much, but you know, I was jealous at the time. Uh, it's not going to sit right with me ever. But here's the problem I got. There's some girls that liked me in Ruby High School. I dated them. I don't know. I wanted to date them. I only dated one of them from Ruby High School. And that one that I dated from Ruby High School was part of this schematic operation from this karate teacher. That's the biggest problem here. I didn't know who she was. This Sarah. I didn't know who she was. Teacher, Kyosanem. I didn't know. Second dan or above, certified teacher, or whatever. I didn't know you had me involved in this scheme and or screw me over, or it was the other way around. She was screwing me over. You see, she was screwing me over. Make that clear. She was screwing me over. Yeah, and that's the problem. He had some favor up for me still, this teacher, but she wanted to probably add to the scheme her own little twist, her own major twist. And I don't know how terrible she wanted to be to me, but she wanted to be really bad to me. Uh, there was a time I was sparring against her brother. It was non-contact sparring, and her brother got intimidated by my moves, and he fell on the back of his head. So I think that's why Sarah put me through a lot of hell in our 3 year relationship. Save that for a court hearings if there is one. That's the problem I got. Okay. He fell on the back of his head one time in karate training. I don't think he hurt himself, but you know, they didn't know what to do with my talent. I had a hard time suppressing my talent. So it's hard. Those two students in the class were just making trouble anyway. Lincoln Park, Region 5, the officials, they don't want to accept this. They don't want to acknowledge this. They don't want to admit any of these things. But they're the ones that are really like probably breaking laws because they deny this with this teacher. They don't care. The legal system doesn't care. They just deny all these things that I'm claiming. But this is the reality. This is the truth of what really happened. See, this Jin guy was, you know, who is Jin Kazama? He's not a fictional character. He's supposed to be from my history. If you listen to that song Sparking, you know, me and this cry teacher, I thought we had a bond for life. I thought I got to know him, even if I could only get to know him in the changing room. I thought we had a bond for life. Probably not really, you know, not really. I don't think because probably the bond was greater between him and this girl that they've been these Don teachers have been having sex with for a lot of years, even back to karate training. They want me, 14-year-old student, to settle a 12-year-old student down. They want me to have sex with a 12-year-old student, that Sarah girl. She was, no, she was 11. Have sex with her, settle her down. I didn't know what to do. I'm only 14. So they had to settle her down. They had to put their cocks in Sarah, 11-year-old girl. That's reality. Like Jen says, and this is reality. That's reality. You know who you are now. I know who you are now. Ah! Three kick streams. Ah! That's who she was in class. She put whenever I do the three kick strings of Shenmue, she'd be like this. She put her hands on her face like Home Alone and go. Ah! She'd scream like a girl because she's a girl, little girl, screaming like Home Alone, trying to mess me up during the doing those strings. She didn't mess me up. I still did them, but when they're trying to train me to be this Shenmue guy, I remember them teaching me to do these. They're telling me to do different moves. I couldn't do them because she wouldn't shut the holy half up. Oh, I'm a Christian, so I don't swear. She wouldn't shut the fuck up. Okay, she wouldn't shut the fuck up. So that's the problem. I couldn't just do these kicking strings. I couldn't just do the train for Shenmue at times because she wouldn't shut her mouth. She kept screaming like Home Alone and doing that. I couldn't even train like that in karate class. They're training me to be Shenmue and Ryozuki and Jin. I couldn't do it at times because she was there and she was screaming like Home Alone. So that's a problem I got. In my history, I remember these things. See, in 2002, when I started to date her, she followed me from. See, This is the problem here. Let me say this: Jin Kazama is actually affiliated with this Ryozuki guy in my history, and you know, for me to be this guy, I had to. Well, I mean, I was this guy for at times, but I can help to talk about different people that screwed this whole thing up. Okay. I want everyone to know that I can help to bring these people up. I have to talk about these things because this is what ruined my life. This is what screwed up my history. Okay. It ruined my life. And I had royalties that I was never paid. If I had my expensive royalties and money, I would have been established long ago. I wouldn't be complaining on YouTube. I would have had my money. I maybe have been married to someone else already. It's just that's the problem. See, it's like, well, I'm just saying, maybe I would have been married by now. Maybe I would have been a different life by now. I would have been probably because I would have had money. I would have had been established. I would have been able to have my own house, my own car, my own life. No, I'm 44 years old and I can't do these things because this teacher and this girl I dated and his people in my history that screwed my life up. There's the problem right there. 5-0. See, 5-0? That's the problem I got. hmm And the police, they say they're to serve and protect the people. Well, they are, but they're paid to do that. That don't mean they genuinely care about you. They're paid to. It's a job. But see, the police are actually, at times, they're risking their lives for us, too. Some of these police don't make it. So I can understand that, in a way, why they are mad and they, you know, if they don't, well, not that they're mad, but if they don't always stand up for us like we would expect them to, they're putting their lives on the line for us anyway. Well, I can understand that. I understand. But, my problems, you know, that they're, I don't know. See, so, all right, I'll keep these specs on now. The specs will help me to see. Okay. Um, yes. So a lot of this, inside knowledge is just denied. If it is denied, it's like covered up. Um, this Tekken, you know, Jin, the characters, the moves, the story. There's a lot of the ideas I had for Tekken. They started out with me and my ideas I was exchanging with the teachers in the change room after class. You know, they even recorded my voice. They even recorded my voice in the change room, me saying different ideas. See, my karate teacher was also a college student. He had a cassette player that he would record my voice saying things, he would record me saying different things, and he had that. I want to make note of that. Even ideas for Tekken 8 came from recordings, I believe, 30 years ago. They're not going to just tell you that. That's true. Okay. All right. Now, I want to say the people I mentioned, I have some compassion, some love for in a way, but I don't really know what to do about my situation at times because I don't have the things I don't have my money, so therefore I don't have the things that I've earned so many years ago. And so it went to other people, and I have to find my own way in life now because other people have claimed my royalties, my money, whatever, all things gone, 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 gone. It's not good for me. Then I don't get to claim what I earned in life. You see, that's part of the reason why I'm bringing this stuff up. So this Jin Kazama guy, he came from an idea from one of those teachers. I remember he said, "I'm going to make him Jin." I remember a lot more than that though. It's a lot more than that I can still remember. And so I recognize these moves I've done in karate training in these video games. And I actually told these teachers that I want them to use my fight choreography for video games, and they did just that. But then now they're not acknowledging my claims for this enough. These teachers, in fact, they're perhaps denying these claims. So that's why I have to take my own action, my own initiative. So I want to say any names I've used in this broadcast, I don't want to offend anybody at all. You know, like, the girl I dated for a total of 3 years, I actually care about her and I love her still as a person, as an old friend. As an old friend, as a person, I have some compassion and I care and I love her somewhat. But the problem I really have with her is that I don't realize the magnitude of what how terrible she was to me at the time. Then she kind of stands up for me sometimes. She kind of looks out for me at times, but I guess the way I look at it is that she used me, but I don't know any I don't know any better. So I just forgive her anyway. I have to forgive her. You know, it's like I feel like I have to forgive her, so I try to forgive her. It's so horrible the things I've gone through, you see. And you know, it's damaged my reputation so much. It's brought it down so much. I was like a really cool guy in 1995. Then it brought it way down over the years, you know. And that's why I've had problems too. I think some of those students in the karate class were wanting revenge for my talent in that class. They were jealous. They were angry. But that's something I shouldn't have had to go through. Thank you everyone for tuning in to my broadcast. And this is the conclusion of how Jin Kazama was from Region 5. Thank you everybody. I'm Richard Rizuki, 81.